reports are coming in about the Millennium Bridge.
It's the bridge of the future.
Is this the most dangerous bridge in the world?
Imagine a bridge so widely anticipated that 90,000 people showed up to cross it on its grand opening day. It was designed by the country's top architect and built by the world's most prestigious firm. Yet, just 3 days later, it was suddenly closed. Everything seemed perfect. So what went wrong? On June 10th, 2000, London unveiled its newest architectural marvel, the Millennium Bridge. But excitement turned to concern as pedestrians felt the bridge sway beneath their feet. The swaying became an unsteady wobble as the ground was too unstable for people to stay on their feet. Within hours of its grand opening, this symbol of the new millennium became a laughing stock.
Nicknamed the Wobbly Bridge.
Have you seen this? They're calling it the Wobbly Bridge.
The London Millennium Footbridge is a 325-meter steel suspension bridge. At the time, its unprecedented design captured the idea of a future led by innovation. Without the standard vertical suspension cables, this bridge offers a 360-degree view of downtown London as you cross the River Thames, gracefully connecting a direct path from St. Paul's Cathedral to Tate Modern, two of London's most visited attractions. This bridge stood as a symbol of modernity and innovation, embodying the spirit of a new century and representing connectivity in every sense of the word. But what exactly happened to make this bridge wobble? The answer lies in a phenomenon known as harmonic resonance, specifically synchronous lateral excitation, which in simple terms is when an object vibrates strongly in response to an outside force that matches its natural frequency. Think about it like this. Imagine a wine glass. Vibrations of the table it sits upon pass through the glass but do not disturb its integrity. It has a natural frequency, a specific pitch at which it begins to vibrate. Now put an opera singer in the room with a wine glass. As the singer's pitch ascends higher and higher, the glass vibrates with greater intensity as the frequency of the vocals begin to resonate with the structure. When a singer reaches the climactic note, matching the glass's natural frequency, the vibrations can become so strong that the glass shatters. A similar destructive fate is possible for bridges too. The Tacoma Bridge in 1940 was an extreme case of harmonic resonance, causing it to sway in a violent manner before ultimately resulting in its collapse. In this case, the high winds of the valley were the external force of vibration that ultimately broke apart the bridge, causing it to crumble into the water. So how did the crowd unintentionally match the Millennium Bridge's frequency? The large masses that showed up to experience the new bridge were far greater numbers than the bridge had been tested for, thus creating a situation for unforeseen problems to arise with this unorthodox design. The natural sway of the bridge was amplified by the large numbers and forced people to counter the movement by altering their stance to balance themselves and walk with a more deliberate lateral gait, the same repositioning that occurs when you try to balance yourself on a rowboat that dips left and right. With everyone performing these adjustments, their footsteps unintentionally synchronized. You see, it's a natural human tendency to match the rhythm of those around us, especially in a large group. Their collective force fed the momentum of the swaying, causing the bridge's motion to enter into what engineers call a positive feedback loop. The more the bridge swayed, the more the crowd synchronized in their counter to the swaying, increasing the instability and the danger of being on the bridge. This synchronization created a rhythm that matched the bridge's natural frequency. The bridge had a lateral frequency, essentially the natural sideways movement of just 1 Hz, the rate at which it naturally wanted to sway. As more people walked in sync, this resonance built up, causing the bridge to sway more and more. Luckily, no one was harmed, except of course during the fictional Death Eater attack in Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. But why did this happen on the Millennium Bridge? The problem is tied to the bridge's very design, a design that poetically was also its most celebrated feature. Let's break it down. Norman Foster and the engineers at Arup Group designed the Millennium Bridge to be slender, elegant, and notably flexible. This wasn't a flaw, it was a feature intended to create a visually stunning structure that seemed to float above the River Thames. But here's the twist. Those very design choices made the bridge more susceptible to lateral motion. The flexibility meant it could easily sway from outside forces like wind or foot traffic. So how did engineers solve this unexpected problem?
They're going to put a damper in at each of these joints.
They installed special dampers using springs and dashboards to absorb and dissipate energy, counteracting the swaying motion. A total of 91 dampers were used, 52 tuned mass dampers to control vertical movement, and 37 viscous dampers to manage lateral or sideways motion. When the bridge starts to move, the dampers absorb the kinetic energy, the energy of motion, and convert it into heat. This heat is then dissipated, which reduces the energy and in turn reduces the sway, ultimately stabilizing the structure. After these modifications, the Millennium Bridge reopened in 2002, standing firm and steady. The infamous swaying was gone, and the bridge became the peaceful crossing it was always meant to be. The Millennium Bridge's unique wobble taught engineers invaluable lessons about the complex interplay between human behavior and structural design. This unexpected challenge didn't just lead to a solution, it led to new advancements in bridge engineering and an understanding of how dynamic loads like foot traffic can affect large structures. So, the next time you face a setback, just remember the Millennium Bridge. Sometimes a wobble is just the beginning of a journey towards greater stability and success.